Welcome to Hero Villains. Who will win in a fight between Colossus and Thor? A confrontation between gods and steel. Colossus, whose real name is Piotr Nikolayevich Rasputin, is a Russian mutant who is part of the X-Men. He has the ability to transform his body into an extremely hard organic form of steel, allowing him to enhance his physical strength, endurance, and resistance far beyond that of a normal human. Colossus can easily lift hundreds of tons and endure terrible blows without being harmed, making him a mobile tank on the battlefield. Thor is the Asgardian god of thunder, the son of Odin, who possesses divine power from the universe. Not only does he possess physical strength on par with or even surpassing Colossus, Thor is also armed with the legendary hammer Mjolnir, which allows him to control lightning, fly, and teleport across dimensions. In addition, Thor also has thousands of years of combat experience, the ability to use Asgardian magic, and the endurance to withstand attacks from cosmic entities. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button. Please remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Colossus is one of the mutants with the most impressive physical strength in the X-Men universe. His entire body is completely transformed into an organic metal form that does not belong to any element known on Earth. This special structure not only enhances Colossus's durability, but also creates an almost impenetrable armor, helping him withstand attacks with terrible destructive power. He can lift giant objects, knock opponents through steel walls, or withstand attacks with the intensity of explosions. In life or death situations, Colossus becomes an insurmountable wall, a warrior who is both cold and brave. Every time he appears on the battlefield, Colossus carries a suffocating air pressure. His tall figure, shiny steel skin reflecting the flames of war, makes his opponents falter. The sound of his fists echoes like a hammer hitting an anvil. Each blow makes the ground shake. Colossus is not only a warrior of steel, but also ranks among the most powerful beings. With a body weight ranging from 70 to 75 tons in his metal state, he possesses extremely impressive physical abilities, completely capable of confronting top names such as Doc Samson, The Thing, She-Hulk, or Thundra. The battles that Colossus participates in always bring a feeling of suffocation, where each punch can destroy concrete. Despite his overwhelming strength, Colossus is still just a young man who is not fully developed. Professor Xavier believes that his physical potential will continue to manifest as an adult, opening up the possibility of reaching Class 100 level. If that comes true, Colossus will become an opponent on par with power monsters such as the Abomination, Hulk in a controlled state, or even Thor when not using enhancement items. It was not only a hope, but also a warning of a future where Colossus could reshape the balance of power in the superhero world. Colossus replaces organic matter with osmium steel. His biological processes seemed to be uninterrupted, and his strength and durability were increased. The moment he transformed from flesh to organic metal, a huge burst of energy spread through every fiber of his transformed muscles. The power was enough to make even the Hulk feel pain, a rare occurrence for a creature that was nearly invulnerable. After a fierce battle during the Mutant Massacre event, Magneto restructured all of his cells, giving him a new physical foundation that was much stronger than when he first joined the X-Men. Since then, Colossus has become one of the most durable and formidable mutants. In his armored form, he is no longer dependent on basic elements such as food, water, or even air. His body becomes invulnerable to artillery fire, impacts from great heights, strong electric currents, and even many forms of magic. During a period of great upheaval, Colossus became the embodiment of an ancient power when he received the power of Sidorak, a mystical, extra-dimensional entity. Sidorak is not only a source of immense power, but also a member of the Octessence, a group of 8 powerful, near-immortal beings, each of whom holds secrets far beyond their own power. While wielding Sidorak's power, Colossus is no longer bound by physical limitations or conventional damage. He can traverse any terrain, breach any defense, and defeat enemies once considered invincible. The fusion of a mutant's fighting instincts and the power of an ancient entity has made him a symbol of destruction. However, this power comes at a price. It brings with it an invisible darkness, a potential loss of control, and internal conflict. Colossus must fight not only his external enemies, but also his own ego to maintain his humanity amidst the maelstrom of immeasurable power. This battle is harsh, fierce, and unforgiving, making him a dramatic symbol in the journey of mutants. Thor Odinson is the embodiment of thunder, a divine warrior from Asgard and one of the most powerful members to ever join the Avengers. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor is not only known for his superhuman physical strength, but also for possessing ancient cosmic power. Through many different versions, Thor's power has transformed and developed, creating an impressive and unpredictable upgrade path. In the first movie, Thor demonstrated power far beyond all mortal standards. It took him 10 consecutive strikes to destroy the Rainbow Bridge, the bridge that connects the worlds and also contains the energy source of Bifrost. What's special is that Bifrost is not only a tool for moving between dimensions, but also has the power to destroy an entire planet if used as a weapon. Destroying that bridge not only requires extraordinary strength, but also reflects the determination and spirit of sacrifice of a god, willing to give up everything to protect what he believes in. It was also the moment when Thor cemented his place as an immortal symbol of courage and legendary strength. Thor is the living embodiment of divine power, a warrior who carries the wrath of the universe and the pride of Asgard. In fierce battles, Thor stands at the center of destructive explosions without being harmed. He once shook Jotunheim with only the pure power of his hammer Mjolnir and righteous anger. Even when facing the Hulk, a creature known as unstoppable, Thor still maintained the initiative and did not retreat. Thor could completely destroy Iron Man in an instant. In Thor: The Dark World, although the script did not push him to new limits, Thor still maintained a superior level. Thor Ragnarok, when he unleashed the power of thunder within him. The blow to Hela left her unconscious despite having crushed Mjolnir, a weapon that had survived the core of a star. In Infinity War, Thor continued to surpass his limits when he survived an explosion in space near Devil's Anus, where a neutron star was collapsing. It was calculated that the energy he withstood was equivalent to the destructive power of the solar system. And a magnetar releases more energy in 1/10th of a second than the sun releases in 150,000 years, making this feat far, far beyond the solar system. But even at the brink of death, he was able to resist the gravity of a dying neutron star, which was calculated to be equal to that of the moon. Thor continued his journey to assert his position in the universe when he possessed Stormbreaker, a weapon forged from the core of a dying star, which was said to be able to summon and control the Bifrost. Stormbreaker also demonstrated the ability to penetrate the Infinity Gauntlet, an item containing the full power of the 6 Infinity Stones, something no one had ever done before. In Avengers Endgame, Thor, despite not being in his prime, was still able to face Thanos, who was wielding his twin swords, showing that his power had reached the threshold of godhood, almost on par with the conqueror of the universe. Thor's true test came when he faced Gorr the God Butcher, a godly destroyer wielding the ultimate sword, the Necros. Gorr not only surpassed Hela in power level, but was also considered to be at the level of a solar system and could even reach multi-solar system influence. Despite being underestimated, Thor was still able to match Gorr in many situations, partly due to his combat experience and his affinity with the original source of lightning power. Thor is hailed as the strongest Avenger. Please subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you very much. Colossus faces Thor in a duel. Confronting a thunder god like Thor is a prospect reserved for the bravest. Thor is not just an Asgardian warrior, but also the embodiment of a primal power that can sweep away anything in his path. He has faced down destructive forces and survived battles with cosmic consequences. With the exception of abstract entities like Eternity or Galactus, few can withstand the power Thor brings when he is truly serious. But the clash between an indomitable machine of living steel and a god with the power of the stars, Colossus with his organic armor and superhuman physical foundation, proves that he is no pushover. His punches are strong enough to knock down entire buildings, and facing Thor in a real battle state, one can clearly see the brutal difference. The lightning strikes with an irresistible force, each strike exerting a tremendous amount of pressure on Colossus. While not easily subdued, facing a god is unbeatable. He leaps and gets shot twice as Thor keeps his distance. Keep in mind that this isn't even the current Thor, who is far more powerful than his previous Avenger/base version. Colossus on a good day can be compared to the likes of War Machine. The classic She-Hulk is one of the most prominent symbols of power in the superhero world. While she doesn't reach the explosive power of Extreme Hulk versions like Green Scar or Savage Hulk, She-Hulk is still considered a formidable opponent, able to compete with muscular warriors like Joe Fixit or The Thing. Colossus is no slouch either, constantly confronting powerful entities. Notably, he clashed with Gladiator, a cosmic messenger capable of destroying entire planets with his fists. Despite being overwhelmed in speed and energy, Colossus did not fall easily, but instead continuously counterattacked with pure strength and steely will. Colossus has fought with beings as powerful as Apocalypse, an ancient mutant with divine powers and the ability to transform his body at will. Colossus not only caused real damage to his opponents, but also proved that he was a warrior who could stand on par with seemingly invincible forces. In many battles, Colossus made viewers hold their breath when they saw him withstand blows that could crush tanks. He made his opponents wary, even shaken by his mechanical strength. However, when his opponents were truly serious and used all their strength, Colossus quickly fell into a disadvantageous position. Not because he wasn't strong enough, but because his opponent was on a whole other level. And when compared to Thor, the Asgardian god of thunder, the situation became even more serious. Thor was not only stronger than most of the heralds Colossus had ever faced, but also possessed godlike power and millennia of experience fighting on countless battlefields. Even in his base form, Thor is a force to be reckoned with. If he were to let loose and unleash his full lightning power, the duel would no longer be an equal match, but a domination. However, every battle carries unknowns, and everything changes when Colossus enters the unstoppable Colossus state. This is no longer an ordinary mutant, but the embodiment of unshakable rage and power. Blessed by Sidorak, a mystical entity with ancient power, Colossus absorbed all of Juggernaut's strength, durability, and unstoppability. With his body enhanced beyond all physical limits, he became a terrifying force. Colossus not only stood on par with divine beings, but also clearly overwhelmed them. The clearest proof is the confrontation with Red Hulk, a man who once spread terror throughout the world. Not only did Colossus take a beating, he also fought back fiercely, taking down Red Hulk without much trouble. Colossus also won against a Juggernaut who was enhanced with one of the ancient hammers given by the serpent during the Fear Itself event. These hammers had once caused the mightiest heroes to fall. The fact that Colossus could defeat a being in such an enhanced state took him to a whole new level. In his unstoppable Colossus form, his defenses were almost completely nullified by physical attacks, and with the power of Sidorak coursing through his veins, he could make even the strongest opponents falter. In this state, Colossus was fully capable of forcing Thor to fight seriously, even putting Thor on the defensive instead of actively attacking as usual. This is no longer a battle between gods and men. If Colossus reaches his ultimate form, then Thor deserves to step out of his comfort zone and take on the form of All-Father Thor. This is Thor at his peak, where he has taken on the full power of the Odin force and become a being with the power of a Sky Father. With that force, Thor can overpower Zeus, defeat legendary opponents like the Green Scar Hulk, and even manipulate the universe at will. Yes, All-Father Thor would easily defeat unstoppable Colossus without any difficulty. Regardless of the version, enhanced or base, Thor almost always has to take a hit when facing. Thor's strength and versatility will eventually overwhelm him. Thor wins 9/10. I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's today's video. Thank you so much.